Hey, welcome into the Snap Week 8 waivers. Coming at you again with a decent list of pickups for Week 8. It's not a long list, but I think an important list. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, a like on the video goes a long way. Subscribing to the channel if you're new really helps us out. But without further ado, let's dive in. It was a crazy week, and this season we've lost a big young talent in Javonte Williams, and we're going to add to that list, unfortunately, with Breece Hall tearing his ACL. Crazy. Had your waivers ran a day earlier, everybody would have ran out and spent an unlimited amount of FAAB on Michael Carter. But as of today, I'm recording this on Monday, October 24th. As of today, the New York Jets have traded for James Robinson. So what I'll say about Michael Carter: he's only 66% rostered. If you have a bid in for Michael Carter, I would pull that back, limit your FAAB. Michael Carter is currently the 28th running back in PPR. He's been a fringe running back too. He's been decent throughout the course of the season, but on a per game basis, outside the top 36. Michael Carter is just not going to get it done for you, unfortunately, especially with James Robinson incoming. Now, had he been solo with Ty Johnson behind, different story, but I'm tempering expectations, not spending a lot of FAAB on Michael Carter. So I thought I would get that out of the way to start. Going to my number one pickup on the week, last week I told you that you should pick up Gus Edwards. You shouldn't spend your FAAB on Kenyon Drake. You should go out and get Gus Edwards, and I hope that you followed me on that tip, because if you didn't, this week it's going to cost you significantly more FAAB. Gus Edwards is currently rostered in 40% of leagues. When we spoke last week, he was under 20. So that ownership is doubled, and I expect it probably will double again, nearing that 75 to 80% mark. Gus Edwards, 36% snap share, not a ton of work, but 16 attempts on only 36% of snaps, had 2 touchdowns, had the high value touches, and this team is going to continue to run the football with Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, maybe J.K. Dobbins when he gets back in, Kenyon Drake. It may be a bit of a committee approach, but Gus Edwards passed the eye test. He looked fantastic. I'm willing to spend upwards of 20% FAAB to get Gus Edwards, especially if you're a team like that just lost Breece Hall. Let's face it, you need some running back help. Another name I put you onto last week, if you didn't pick him up, it's going to cost you more again, Foreman. I said last week, hey, with the Christian McCaffrey news circulating, he might get traded, go out and get Foreman or Chuba Hubbard, whoever you wanted. My pick was Foreman. He was only 10% rostered at the time. As of time of recording, he is 63% roster, a 53% increase. That's going to jump again. Should he not be rostered in your league, you should probably spend 15 to 20% of your budget in order to get him. The reason I say that, he led the snap share between him and Hubbard, had 15 attempts, ran for almost 8 a carry, and had 2 targets, 2 receptions, involved in both facets of the game. Foreman is a beast, and probably one of the only running backs who is currently outperforming the Achilles injury. So go ahead, pick up Foreman, and then move on to my number one ad from last week, Wan'Dale Robinson. At time of recording last week, Wan'Dale Robinson was only 20% owned. I told you to spend about 10% of your FAAB. He had limited work, only played, I believe it was like 30% of snaps. This week, we see a dramatic increase, though. Wan'Dale Robinson going from, 23% snap share all the way up to 70, had 8 targets, was the primary receiver for Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones looked good again. The Giants continue to win. They need help at receiver. Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney still not active. It is Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton carrying the load along with Saquon Barkley. There's no reason for you not to get Wan'Dale Robinson on your team. This guy is a little bit less likely to be available in your league, but 71% currently owned. Chase Claypool, the Pittsburgh Steelers may not be a Steeler much longer. We're hearing news of his name going to be traded at the deadline. Who knows if he lands with somebody like the Packers, but this is kind of like what I talked to you last week about, guys like Foreman who you might want to scoop up. Chase Claypool, if available in your leagues, probably a shallower league, 8 to 10 team league, but I would go out and get him or acquire him in a cheaper trade after a decent day, 8 targets, but not quite the game we saw in week 6 against Tampa. Nonetheless, Chase Claypool, somebody I would be targeting in a smaller trade or picking up off waivers. And lastly, another name I'm revisiting again this week, but Greg Dulcich of the Denver Broncos, playing 60% of snaps, 9 targets, 6 receptions for 51 yards. This is somebody who I think we're gaining some confidence on. We can go ahead and stream him given some bye weeks coming up. So Greg Dulcich, I would add into your tight end portfolio, somebody you could play. And not that the Brett Rippon experiment is going to be much more fun than the Russell Wilson experiment in Denver. Rippon did seem to target Greg Dulcich much like more so than Russell Wilson did. So add Dulcich to your lineup. And again, if you guys really like this video, leave us a like. Comment down below who you're looking to spend up on in your leagues, who's available. We will answer every single question. So have a great week. Good luck in waivers, and we'll see you guys later in the week.